Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Have you been tempted by the desire to spend hundreds and thousands of pounds of your hard-earned money to invest in some course that promises to make you rich overnight? If so, please don't be hasty, stop and watch this video. Because what I will try to cover in this video is some signs that you can use in order to determine whether a course is real or fake or a complete scam. Even if it is real, is it worth the money? Is there value for money in paying hundreds of thousands of pounds to learn about some trading techniques that these courses are promising? But before we dig deeper into what these courses teach about or how you can spot the difference between a fake or a real course, let's understand the basics on how money is made. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail around how money is made, but for two particular asset classes where I think there is abundance of these courses are, number one, stocks, and number two, foreign currencies. Let's use foreign currencies as an example. Foreign currencies or currencies come in pairs. As an example, the British pound against the US dollar. You sell a certain amount of British pounds to get a certain amount of US dollar or vice versa. As an example, 2 years ago, the exchange rate between British pound and US dollar was 1 to 1.4, which means if you had $10 and you sold it in the market, you would get $14 back. Today, that rate is closer to 1 to 1.25, which means that if you sold 10 British pounds in the market, you will get roughly $12.50 back. Now, the difference between 12.5 and 14 is where the money is made or where there are promises that you will make money. Now, the challenge with currencies or even stocks is that they're not super volatile. They only move by 1% or a couple of percentage points every day. Therefore, there is not a lot of money to be made. In comes a word called leverage. What leverage means is that you technically place a bet on the market by saying that if the British pound loses 1%, I will make 100 times that. So 50 times, 100 times, you can have your leverage up to 50, 100, 500, 1,000 times. That is where you're effectively borrowing money from the market in order to invest into these movements. And in case your bet goes in the right direction, you make a lot of money. And if it goes not in the right direction, you lose a lot of money. Now, there are techniques of risk mitigation, for example, a stop loss where you can place a limit to how much money you can lose and therefore cut out the loss. But even then, there's a huge amount of risk involved with these kind of tradings. Now, the challenge with these courses is that most of these courses rely on teaching you some historical patterns of stopping these movements and then trying those patterns of movements or applying those patterns of movements into future currency trading or any other kind of trading. The problem with the application of historical patterns is that they tend to be right quite a few of the times, but they definitely tend to be wrong quite a few of the time. Therefore, even if you do make money, quite a lot of the times you are bound to lose money, a few times at least. And the times you lose money, the law of probability suggests that you will lose sometimes more money that you've made as well. Therefore, overall, over a period of time, by applying these highly risky methods, you tend to lose out on quite a lot of money. Now, I know people who've worked in investment banks, some of the super smartest people in the world, and these investment banks have spent millions of pounds into risk mitigation and developing huge systems that allow them not to make huge amounts of losses. But even then, they haven't been able to avoid making losses. Therefore, what are the chances of someone down the street coming up with a course in a little room with 100, 200, 500 or 1,000 people and effectively guaranteeing you a return over a sustainable period of time? I would say the chances of that happening are minimal. Have you ever come across anybody in real life who has become a millionaire or has made a substantial sum of money by following advice on a course on how to trade foreign currencies or stocks? I personally haven't, and I'm waiting for the day that I will. Therefore, please be very careful before you get tempted into investing into these courses. Now, there are some signs that you can use to spot the difference between what might be a scam or a real course. And I would say that anybody who is guaranteeing you a return is, if not bound to be fake, the chances are is highly likely going to be fake. Nobody can guarantee a return. The word guarantee doesn't exist in trading. If anybody is guaranteeing you a return over a sustainable period of time, they're likely just trying to lure you in to get your money. Number two, anybody promising you an unusually high rate of return. So 1% a day, very high. 20% a month, very high. 100% a year, very high. The most successful investment banks in the world and the most successful hedge funds in the world have not been able to generate anywhere near that return over a sustainable period of time. So again, the question, if people who've got the know-how and the knowledge and have been doing this at a massive scale over years with millions of pounds invested in multiple systems have not been able to generate a 50% or 100% return a year, what are the chances that some course is going to equip you in order to be able to generate that return? That's sign number 2 for me. Sign number 3 is that most of these courses, or the people who are organizing these courses, sometimes tend to focus more on the flashy cars and the mansions and the adverts that are luring you in under bright sunlight with somebody driving a convertible or the latest model, or somebody showing a swimming pool mansion, and therefore trying to lure you into believing something that is not even hypothetically possible in my view. Therefore, please be very careful of people who are using these methods to lure you in. Another sort of indication, I think, is that most of these courses are trying to come up with these limited time offers, a week's offer or a month offer, that is only in order to actually make you part ways with your money as quickly as possible before rationality kicks in and you decide not to invest in that course. They want to pressure you, they want to time bound you, they want to make you believe that you only have a limited amount of window in order to get into this insiders club that will be making a lot of money in the future. Therefore, anybody that's trying to pressure you to invest now or invest sort of in a limited amount of time within a week or so generally tends to be a course that is not worth value for money. And another very, very strong indication that I've observed in the past is most of these courses, or quite a lot of these courses, tend to focus on the fact that they have developed this insider method, or they have developed this special formula, or they have this special know-how or knowledge of the market, or some really cool AI system that effectively nobody else has access to, which is going to make you a huge amount of return over the foreseeable future. Again, a very strong indication that there is less reality than just smoke and mirrors in these cases. I'm not going to say these courses are scam altogether. Some courses are genuine courses, but the question there for you is there value for money? Because I've seen these courses being advertised as thousands of pounds. I'm not suggesting that these courses have nothing valuable to teach you. They certainly do. They will equip you with certain skill. The question is whether you can use those skills to make consistent return. For me, the answer to that question is absolutely no. They can't equip you to make consistent returns. No course can. They can certainly teach you a valuable skill. So if you want to take it with that spirit, that I'm going to join a course, it's going to teach me something valuable, skills that I can apply, and I'm aware of the risk of losing money, then that's great. But if you're walking in with the assumption you're going to walk out with some magical formula that's going to allow you to make sustainable returns day after day, month after month, year after years, much better than the best system in the world developed after multi-million pound investments by the big institutions and investment banks, then certainly I think you'll be mistaken. Now, if your temptation is really strong and you do want to invest in some course, here is some basics that I would suggest you do in terms of your due diligence to understand or at least increase the probability of your success. First of all, a solid level of due diligence on who the course proprietor is, i.e. the individual who's offering the course, or the proprietor or the owner of the company. In that case, I would strongly suggest to you to go on LinkedIn and look at the person's profile. Does he or she have the credibility? Does he or she have years of verifiable experience in that regard? I mean, very lately I came across an individual that participated in one of these 7-day courses themselves, and a year later they were actually out there advertising their own course to teach other people on how to trade foreign currencies. Now, what are the chances that within a week's course that person has learned all the skills that are required in order to be able to mitigate that risk? Actually, on that point, I would strongly suggest you to read this book, The Psychology of Money. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel has some really good insights about how these things operate. So even if, as he suggests, I think in one paragraph in his book, he says that leverage is the devil, which is true. Even if you're making money 90% of the time, by losing money 10% of the time, you're going to destroy all your gains. So some really valuable lessons actually this book talks about, but we are not here to discuss the book at all. Going back to the topic, first of all, solid due diligence on the person who's offering the course. Go on their LinkedIn profile, type their name on Google, look at company registers, look at all sorts of sources, understand the person's trading record, trading history, and see if they have sustainable returns over the past and if their promises are genuine and real promises. Now, there are platforms like My FX Book, which reveal a person's trading history or a company's trading history, but trust me, even My FX Book can be manipulated. You can hide data. not sort of very actively, but there are ways where you can actually manipulate the data a little bit in order to show your performance, which is a lot better than it might be in reality. Number two, do some research on the company. Find out that the company that is offering this course, or the company that under which these courses operate, how long has it been registered for? Have they made money? You can go on the company's account register, you can go on government websites, find out about the company's genuineness, how long has it been operating for, look at different reviews. Just do a little bit of due diligence. Speak to people around you. Do not walk into these courses blindly. The third thing that I would like to point out is do not believe in the testimonials that you might read on Trustpilot or any other sources. I'm not saying they're fake, but there is ways to manipulate those testimonials. There are ways to hide or suppress the bad reviews and effectively let the good reviews come forward first. Therefore, cross-check the people who are giving the reviews. Read the bad reviews as well. Make sure you read the bad reviews to understand the people who've been dissatisfied with these courses, what is their reasons for dissatisfaction, and you'll get to understand the reality of some of these courses. Understand the basis of them charging the fee. Understand what is the refund policy. Understand that if you're dissatisfied with the course, what course of action are you going to have to recover or refund, or you get your money back, etc. So I think there are a couple of very basic tests that you can apply in order to make sure that the money that you're going to invest with these courses is going to be worth investing in. Please beware. Please make sure that you're not falling trap into these scam courses. We all have our frustrations in life. We all want to make money quickly, but trust me, there is very limited ways of making quick money that quickly, or at least doubling and tripling your money, which most of these courses are promising at the moment. Now, last but not least, this video is not meant to be a financial advice. Please do your own research. However, there are some useful tips there, so if you want to apply them, please feel free to do so. Please like, share, subscribe, press the bell notification, and leave any comments if you want to discuss anything. Thank you.